pollution of the cars, it's affecting me very big because I'll wake up with really sticky eyes, you know, from the pollution, and the windows rattle a lot, you know, when the trucks pass by. So that also keeps you up. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, this is true, it's happened maybe I think about 7 or 8 times. I'll blow my nose because I'm really congested, and some black material will come out with the mucus, or even little particles of I don't know, it looks like ash. I'll blow it out and I'll ask my mom, what is this stuff, you know? She just tells me, get away from the window. At least move your bed from the wall of the window to like the other side where the mirrors are. And the smog actually goes right there at the side of the window, you know, where you close it, and it builds up right there, kind of like mold does. Because I'm so close to the freeway, all that material just blows right in during a windy day, even when I sleep.
So environmental racism is things that are put in a community of color that are bad for people's health. For example, the freeway, like the freeway that's right behind me. It's also the many power plants like PG&E has, and also server farms, old shut down factories, the old naval shipyard in Bayview Hunters Point. So, you know, all of it together really, it's like not just one thing, one of them having nearby is already worse, but like having them all together makes the cumulative impact, it makes it much worse.
Whether it's from dust in the air, car pollution, or industrial toxins, people who live in Visitation Valley, Portola, Excelsior, and the Bayview believe their health is in danger.
What we want is environmental justice. Yeah.
This group of Chinese and Latino immigrant youth all live in those areas. They are part of a program called Common Roots.
280 and the 101 were placed in their location in the 50s and 60s as part of the freeway expansion for the whole of the United States that was initiated during the Eisenhower administration. The areas that ended up with freeways tended to be those that had the least political influence. The neighborhood for the 280 was really a working class neighborhood and was not really effective at resisting the freeway, whereas other neighborhoods in San Francisco were able to keep the freeways from being placed there. And quite frankly, over time, many of those freeways have been taken away, like the Central Freeway and the Embarcadero Freeway. They're no longer present because communities advocated to have them removed. The 280, as it turns out, tends to be just such a large freeway and such a mainstream freeway that eliminating them is probably not going to happen. And if you go and visit the site, you'll see the impact of that freeway, where it truly divided a very elegant, small neighborhood into fractionated pieces.
Sí, mi nombre es Luisa Romero y soy del Salvador y tengo 19 años de vivir en este apartamento. Yo llegué aquí con mis 2 niños chiquitos por mi esposo, que él había venido aquí. A todos nos perjudica bastante este ambiente de aquí de los freeways. Por el ruido, por el todo. Me afecta bastante a toda la familia porque con respecto a la salud, todos padecemos de la nariz, yo bien seguido se padece de los ojos también. Se me irritan, me lloran, se me ponen rojos y me pican también.
Por el solo hecho psicológico, que uno sabe que hay tanta contaminación, ya psicológicamente, mentalmente le afecta a uno. Ya no se diga físicamente que uno respira, pero no puedes tener uno el gusto de tener una ventana frontal abierta porque entraría mayor contaminación. Así que indudablemente no podemos medir el daño que nos hace, pero sí sabemos que nos está haciendo daño. A medida que uno avanza en edad, se siente más cansado, lo respira con mayor dificultad.
And this map shows an overlay of the number of asthma hospitalizations in 2005 to 2006 with the freeways overlaid. And what we can see is that where the freeways are located is correlated with the numbers of asthma hospitalizations in those neighborhoods. We saw a similar pattern of an increased rate of hospitalizations in the southeastern neighborhood relative to the rest of the city. Leading causes of death and disease and injury in the Excelsior zip code are by exposure to air pollution as well as noise and the stressors and risks that correspond with those exposures.
Well, growing up I had asthma, and now it's not as severe as it was when I was little, but what I suffer more from now are my allergies, and I know that living next to this freeway with all the car pollution, it doesn't do anything for my health, it just makes it worse.
Myself, I have a cancer at year 2001, and the real reason that I got the cancer is related to the air pollution.
Some of these places you'll never think are, like toxic places that give out chemicals that are bad for your health. So until I realized that, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of them around here. About maybe 3 years ago, I got, my mom actually introduced me to this organization called Pollutants, and I'm very grateful that she did, because having joined Pollutants and been in their Common Roots program, I really got an opportunity to learn about what environmental justice is, and what environmental racism is, and what we could do to help stop this pollution. With Common Roots, 2 summers ago, we created our own toxic tour here of southeast of San Francisco, and each neighborhood, which included Visitation Valley, Bayview, Hunters Point, Portola, and the Excelsior.
There was one of the oldest and dirtiest power plants in all of California.
Each youth that was in the program presented at one of these stops, and we invited our community members from our organizations, and we also invited members of the Board of Supervisors. So it was very successful. We felt we really did a lot to educate not only our members, but also to let our word be known out in City Hall.
First, I got a letter during summer at year 2002. So in the letter, they mentioned something that this gas station is going to expand their business, and this expansion, that means it's going to put more gasoline in this station, and it also means they're going to release more benzene, that is the compounds of the pollution that is going to hurt our health. Also, we set up a few times community meeting, and we also invite Bay Area Air Quality Management District come to our meeting and let them explain to us what really happened. I remember during this time, Senator was our supervisor, and his aide, Tina Tom, also came out in our meeting, and we got a letter from Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and they told me the Shell gas station sent a letter to them. They took back their application, so they give up. So I feel so great of our neighborhood and this wonderful community.
I feel it's very important for the Board of Supervisors, so they know that we're educated and we want to do something about it in our neighborhood so that it doesn't happen. Because, in communities of color is where you find all these cumulative impacts that affect our health. You don't find them in other pretty areas of the city. So I think it was important that they know that we know and that we want to change it.